Returning to New Year's Eve, after placing the onion seeds in the freezer, I started planning on a method for making the opening lights for the polytunnel. This is the principal strategy. 1. As few tools as possible: the saw, screwdriver, carpenter's square, chisel. 2. Straightforward timber available from a DIY centre. 3. Draw it. If I can draw an object, I can usually build it. Construction is a cross between what I knew as an EJMA section, say a storm window. EJMA is an acronym for European Joinery Manufacturers Association, and a storm window, which is as a result of research by TRADA, an acronym for Timber Research and Development Association. Both these designs use minimum section timber, machine-made joints, high-tech glues, and from sustainable timber. My aims are at the opposite end of this specification. In other words, my aim is the simplest method possible that anyone with just basic skills can produce a weatherproof casement window. Here I have marked the timber, assembled it onto the rod using the actual material to be used to form the pattern. Given each corner a form of identification, and these are called mason's marks. You can call them what you want. The main thing is you make marks that you can identify. Why? Because structures like polytunnels are not stable. The wind blows them, moves them out of plumb and line. Which is why you take the diagonals and make identification marks. Each part of the frame is drilled at both ends using a pocket screw forming jig, glued and clamped together, then left for the waterproof glue to set hard overnight. Making the actual frame is quick. What takes the time is waiting for the glue or paint to dry, which at this time of year is not a bad thing, because it's New Year's Eve. The frame is put away for the glue to set. I can clear up, get changed, and get ready to party. Up early in the morning, a couple of cups of black coffee and raring to go. We're off to the sales this morning, and I need new shoes. The glue is set, or shall I say cured, as I require this glue to be at its full strength. Cramps removed, a quick check, all okay, and off to an even quicker check at the allotment to test the frame in position. I don't want to be making any adjustments after painting. Back home, another coffee, ready for the sales. Frame seated in the opening, okay. One other check was to see if I had made sufficient room for the hinges, which I then considered is now satisfactory. Back home after the sales, not enough time for the next stage, that's making the outer frame. That's mainly due to the failing light. So I gave some thought to fill in the screw pockets, not an essential requirement, and then considered insects love gaps like these and decided to fill them in. So out with the epoxy resin. As expected, the epoxy resin was as hard as a rock. The next task is to sand it flush, but before sanding I placed it on the rod just to check to see that nothing has moved or twisted, but again, all is fine. This resin filler does create a lot of dust, and apart from health and safety, it needs to be vacuumed up as soon as possible. Material to form the glazing beads was brought out, marked in situ for a tight fit, cut and tapped into position. The purpose in forming them at this stage of the process is they set the internal line for the face frame, which also forms the rebate which will take the glazing. So the face frame can be free of the glazing beads. Allowing the glazing beads to be removable, Scotch tape is applied to this surface. We can now apply a waterproof glue to the outer frame material using a technique called a rub joint. The video does not show the action clearly, but I think this shot just shows it. By gently rubbing the material gently back and forth, it expels any air, creating a vacuum which sucks the two pieces together. Clamps are tightened onto the frame with minimum pressure, taken indoors for the glue to cure and removed tomorrow morning. Next morning, glue has set, or should I say cured, as I require this glue to be at its full strength. Another visit to the plot to test the frame in position. I don't want to be making any adjustments after painting. I have a 10 AM appointment this morning, so I need to be off first light, test the frame and then back home. And the frame is seated in the opening, okay. Time to remove the horns. I keep these as long as possible normally to protect the work from knocks or damage. And then the surfaces are plain smooth and level. What I'm doing now is the sandpaper is still clogged from the previous task, sanding down the filler. I would have been in bother with the shop foreman at work for leaving it to the next job. But it's for me and I don't care. The frame is sanded, not forgetting the ends, and ready for painting, but not before the beads are removed and marked. Oh, and don't forget to remove the Scotch tape. The frame is now ready for paint, but I routed around on the exterior and internal edges as an extra. I just thought it would look better and would shed water a lot better. You can leave it square or beveled or just sanded with a small round. The choice is yours. On goes the first coat. Probably require at least another coat. If treated timber was used, it could be left natural, but we'll inspect the decor in the morning. Another 2 coats of decoration were put on it yesterday. I think it's okay now. No work is done on the frame today because I've got to go to Oxford. We're taking a bicycle for my granddaughter at university. Back to work on the frame, and the first job is fix the hinges. We are now ready to put in the glazing. Followed by the glazing beads. Secured with pins. Which are then punched and filled. We are now all set for a hanging. Back on the plot, temporary cover removed, thermometer taken down, frame wedge into opening, position of hinges marked, spare hinge screwed into marked position, hinge removed, frame put back into the opening and screw inserted finger tight, and then it's tightened using the screwdriver. You can now close the window, make secure, pack up and return home, and the job's finished. So till next time, bye!